Listen. That yes you said today, when every part of you screamed no, that is the exhaustion of the nice woman. A dangerous performance. Imagine your niceness is a beautiful porcelain mask. You have worn it for so long, it is almost fused to your skin. Everyone praises the mask, but only you know the suffocation and the weariness underneath. This is not just a feeling. Research on emotional labor proves that this constant performance increases the risk of severe burnout in midlife women by nearly 40%. This video is about that mask. It is about the hidden cost of people-pleasing and the profound power you reclaim when you finally have the courage to take it off. Let us be very clear. This is not an attack on kindness. Genuine kindness is a superpower. It flows from a full bucket. This is about the performance of niceness, the kind that comes from an empty bucket, fueled by the fear of disapproval. The hidden cost of this performance is immense. It is the slow, creeping resentment that poisons your relationships. It is the profound disconnect from your own desires because your needs are always secondary. This is why that invisible backpack feels so heavy. This is why the well is always dry. And the great tragedy is that in our quest to be seen as nice, we exile the most powerful part of our authentic feminine. We exile the wild woman. She is the part of you that knows the truth. She is your gut feeling, your intuition, the part of you that can smell a lie from a mile away. She is the one you silence when you ignore your own wisdom to keep the peace. And so we have been taught to fear her. We have been taught that her power is dangerous, destructive, that if we let her speak, she will burn everything to the ground. But that is a profound misunderstanding. This is not about unleashing a wildfire of aggression. This is about healthy assertiveness. Think of it this way. A wildfire is uncontrolled, destructive, but a controlled fire in the hearth, that is what warms the home. That is what provides light. That is what keeps the darkness at bay. Your assertiveness is not a wildfire. It is your sacred hearth fire. So how do we begin to gently and safely light that fire again, especially in midlife? That is the awakening we will witness next. There often comes a moment in midlife, a quiet crossroads. It is the moment when the porcelain mask of niceness becomes too heavy to wear. The performance is no longer worth the price of admission. The exhaustion finally outweighs the fear of disapproval. This is the great midlife reevaluation. For decades, you have been navigating by an external compass, the approval of others. Now, a deeper, quieter compass begins to stir within, your own. This is the profound shift from a life of approval-seeking to a life of authenticity. It is the moment you realize that your own self-respect is more valuable than the validation of others. Consider Sarah, a 52-year-old mother and manager. For 30 years, she had been the yes woman, until one day, her sister asked for another last-minute favor that would ruin her only day off. And for the first time, without thinking, she simply said, "I'm sorry, I can't." She waited. But instead, a quiet click inside, a profound sense of relief, of rightness. That small, terrifying no was the sound of her authentic self taking its first breath in decades. That is the power you are reclaiming. But to sustain that power, you need more than just a single act of courage. You need a sacred practice. You need to learn the art of the boundary. So how do we build the sacred well of our energy? How do we protect it with love and strength? That is the deep magic we will uncover next. So, how do you turn a single act of courage into a sustainable practice of self-care? You change the metaphor. I want you to stop thinking of a boundary as a wall you build to shut people out. That is a lonely image. It is a fortress. Instead, I want you to remember our sacred well. Your energy, your time, your attention, these are not an infinite ocean. They are the sacred, finite water in your own personal well. For decades, you have allowed anyone and everyone to come and take what they want, leaving you depleted. A boundary is not a wall that shuts people out. It is a fence you build around your sacred well, with a gate that only you have the key to. This is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of sacred stewardship. You are simply becoming a responsible guardian of your own most precious resource. You get to decide who gets your precious water and how much. This reframe is critical because it moves the act of setting a boundary from a place of conflict to a place of conservation. You are no longer pushing them away. You are simply protecting your own wellspring so that you have enough to drink. And perhaps from that fullness, you will have more to genuinely give in the future. But knowing you need a fence is one thing. How do you actually start building it, post by post, without starting a war? How do you communicate these new limits effectively? That is the practical magic we will learn next. This is where the real work of individuation begins, with the sacred power of no. For decades, you had been taught that no is a word of conflict, a word of selfishness. I want you to reframe it. No is not a rejection of them, it is an acceptance of you. Every no you say to a tax is a yes to your own soul. Remember that empty bucket? Every conscious no helps to refill it. But saying no feels terrifying at first, so you begin with our first liberation spell, the spell of postponement. The next time you feel that reflexive yes rising in your throat, simply pause and say the words, "Let me check my calendar and get back to you." This phrase is a holy pause. It moves you from a lifetime of automatic compliance to a single moment of conscious choice. It creates the space where your own voice can finally be heard. Think of your adult child asking for help with their taxes last minute, or a friend expecting you to organize every social event. This small phrase gives you your power back. Our second liberation spell is the spell of compassionate refusal. It sounds like this: I wish I could, but I can't take that on right now. Notice it is kind, it is respectful, but it is a clear and powerful no. When your boss asks you to work late every Friday, or your elderly parent expects you to be their sole caregiver, this is not about building walls, it is about building a fence around that sacred well of your energy. You are simply taking control of the gate. These small acts are the first steps in cultivating a self-first mindset, not a selfish one, but a self-honoring one. But what does this new self-honoring woman actually look like? How does she move through the world differently? That is the future we will step into next. The woman who emerges from this journey is not mean. She is whole. She is the embodiment of her full spectrum self. She is the integration of both the traditionally feminine and masculine within. Her fierce warrior protects her gentle nurturer. Her discerning wise crone guides her adventurous wild woman. She moves through the world with an unapologetic sense of self, making choices aligned with her deepest truth. And the ripple effect is profound. Your authentic self-expression transforms your relationships, your career, and your overall life satisfaction. You become a beacon of freedom for other women, giving them permission to drop their own masks. So I invite you now to take that final step, to make a public declaration in the comments below. Simply write the words, "I am reclaiming my voice." It is a powerful first step in owning your sacred self. But once you reclaim your voice, what about the whispers of the past? What about the unfinished dreams you silenced long ago for the sake of being nice? That is the shadow we will uncover together in our next journey. Thank you for walking this path with me.